Looks like we are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Internet world. Good morning, YouTube world. How are you? Set up that chair. Much, much better. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Another YouTube live English lesson. I'm going to move this window to that monitor so we don't get bothered by that. Hey, thanks a lot for joining me today. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It was cold here, and we had about a millimeter of snow. I can't tell you how much not snow we had. Maybe that much, maybe less than that much. But it was okay. That's all. I woke up this morning and it was like that. But it is kind of cold. So around 0 degrees. Ugh. But according to my handy dandy, well organized cell phone, the temperature is going to be something like -10 next weekend. Celsius. I usually speak in Celsius when I do these things on the internet because most people all over the world use Celsius. Only Americans use Fahrenheit. I think. I don't read so much. I don't study so much. I think it's just the Americans use that. So, Mia, good morning. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I hope, Tefo, hi. Good to see you. Aram, hi. Hey, thanks. All the usual suspects have come to study English. And boy, do we have quite a lesson today. Elena, hi. Thank you. Yes, we have quite a lesson for you today because last week somebody asked me about and the. I don't remember exactly. I don't remember what the in a park or in the park. Yeah, that was what it was. And so, Anna, hi, thanks. Ridwan, hello. Tammy, hey. Toronto in the house. Now go, good morning. Evening. Yeah, so hey, thanks for coming by. So yeah, we talked about, somebody asked that question last week. In the park, in a park. And so if your language has an article, like, I know in Italian, right, you have la and lo. La macchina. Lo something. I don't know. I don't really know. I took Italian when I was a college kid. And that was a long time ago, and I don't remember. But I know that they have kind of like a the in the Italian language. I think Spanish and French also have that. I believe that also Mandarin Chinese has something like a the. It's my understanding that other languages don't have that. And so the way it works in English is a little bit different than those other languages. And if your language doesn't have that, then I know this is hard. And it's hard to understand the concept. But don't worry. Hopefully by the end of this class, you'll figure it out. Excuse me 1 second. Is there a dog? Oh, there's a dog. And the dog threw up. Oh my goodness. Just a second. You okay, buddy? Oh my God. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry about that. The dog woke up early and the dog threw up. Okay. All right. What a great way to spend your Monday morning. La scuola, lo zaino. You know, when I was in school, There was a very big family in my town, the Zinos. What does that mean? What does Zino mean? All right, Mika, hey, what's up? Being Bengali, hello, hello. And Spanish and Arabic too, male and female, la and lo. Yeah, I hope he's okay. Buddy, you okay? Max, are you okay? Just give me 1 second. Sorry, the dog threw up. Not funny. You okay, buddy? Come here, buddy. So this is Max. Say hello, Max. And yeah, I guess Max is not feeling good this morning. Right, buddy? Poor Max. I wonder what he ate that made him not feel well. Okay, buddy. I know. That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes whenever I take out the dogs, they're always eating something from the ground, and so I'm not surprised that he got sick. Poor Max. All right. Anyway, hey, your dog is cute. Hey, thanks. Backpack. Zino means backpack. I had no idea. That's interesting. Okay, sorry for that interruption. I'll take care of that a little bit later. All right, so today, what were we talking about? English. That's right. We're talking about English. We're talking about and the. And, all right. If you have questions along the way, feel free to ask me questions, stop me. We do have a little bit of a time delay, but ask me. Sarah, hi, thanks for coming. So let me just move this down to here. Okay. All right, here's things that you should know. Kingo, hi. First of all, if you're interested in getting these documents that I post here, you can get that for free. All you need to do is go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. Did you like how I did that? myhappyenglish.com/YouTube, and you can download this document for free. That's right. It's a free PDF to help you guys speak English better. And so you put in your name and your email address. That's that. If you like my English lessons, then do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, share this on social media. Hit the share button, share on social media. I'd really appreciate that. It's hard to talk in the morning. All right. And in the. Are you ready? Fasten your seatbelts, kids, because this is going to be quite a ride. A singular countable noun never travels alone. What? Huh? Who? Okay. I hope you know, I believe you know, that nouns represent things. And a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. Okay? I have a thing. This is, in English, this is pen. You learned this when you were in junior high school. The pen is on the table. Okay, right? Pen. The word pen is a single countable noun. Because what makes a noun countable, you might ask? Gee, Michael, what makes a noun countable? Okay. I'm going to put this on this side so you can see it. All right. Oh, the yellow pen doesn't. Green screen alert. Green screen alert. All right. There we go. That was funny. All right. So I have 3 pens. How do you know that? Well, if you can use your finger and numbers, then that noun is countable. Let's see if that works. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 pens. Okay? So you can use your finger and you can use numbers. Probably that noun is countable. Okay? So pen is a countable noun. I also have coffee. I don't know if you can see my coffee. It's hard to see inside the cup. Coffee, for example, is a liquid, and I have water. How much water? I can't say 1 water, right? Now, in this case, there's water in a bottle, so I can say I have a bottle of water, or a bottle of water, a bottle of water. A bottle of water is the best pronunciation, right? But if we take the water out, which I don't want to do because I don't want to get wet, we can't say I have what, 1 water, right? Because water, you can't use your finger and numbers to say how much you have. You can have 1 bottle of water, right? Or in my case, half a cup of coffee. But don't worry, I've got a backup. And so some nouns are countable, some nouns are not. Now, if this is the first time that you're hearing this, then the rest of this lesson might be a little tricky for you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. But if this is not the first time that you're hearing this, now that we know what a countable and a not countable noun is, then we can think about this concept. And again, the concept is a singular countable noun. Let me get one that looks better on the camera. There you go. A singular countable noun never travels alone. Mie says because it's liquid. Yes, that's why. Liquids are not countable. Now there's a whole list of non-countable nouns. There's like 12 categories, I think, that I've seen. So, but yes, liquids are not countable. You can have a bottle of water, as Sarah said. Okay, so a singular countable noun never travels alone. That's the thing you have to remember. So when I say a singular, so singular means 1, right? So pen, this is pen, P-E-N in English, right? And according to the document, pen is a singular countable noun. Singular countable nouns roll around on my desk. Singular countable nouns never travel alone. That's right. They never travel alone because they get nervous out there in the paper by themselves. So, I can say things like this. Here's some examples here. I have a pen. I have the pen you gave me. I have my pen. I have your pen. I have his pen. I have Elena's pen. I have Kingo's pen. I have their pen. I have a nice red pen. I have a nice old blue. That's not the blue one. I have a nice old blue pen. Okay? But I can't say I have pen. I have dog. I can't say I have dog. I have pen. All right? So, because a single countable noun never travels alone. In English, we need to know what pen you're talking about. Is it my pen? Is it your pen? Is it the pen I bought yesterday? Or is it just any pen? Some pen? So we need to know that. And that's a key, critical, important point. So, I have book. Doesn't make sense in English. I have a new book. I have a good book. I have the book you told me to buy. I have a book. We need some way to know what book we're talking about, okay? That's the critical thing. That's the important thing. And so that's where and the come in. Now, a little bit more, I want to say a little bit more about nouns, generally speaking. Now, I want to just say one thing before we go on. First of all, this is probably one of the most difficult points in English. It's not easy to understand. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, like you're feeling like your head is going to explode, and if you see smoke coming out of your ears, you're not alone. Because this is not easy. I know that. And it's not, for some of you, I know that in Japan there's no in the. I'm not sure if that exists in other countries or not. We said that before. I know it doesn't make any sense. But hang in there, okay? But one more thing I wanted to mention about countable and non-countable nouns. Oscar, hey, what's up? Isuru, hello, thanks for coming. Sometimes, and this is why it's really tricky, okay? Because, you know, I have a pen. Pen is a singular countable noun. But some nouns are countable sometimes. All right? And I have a list of them here. Hair, cake, paper, chicken, fish, and time. When I came home last night, my wife said, "Why is there a blonde hair on your sweater?" A hair. When we look at one piece of hair or two pieces of hair, you can say, look, there's a hair. Waiter, there's a hair in my coffee. It's probably a dog hair. But when we think of the whole thing on your head, which in my case is not much, I could say, wow, your hair looks nice. I like your hair. What color is your hair? Like that, okay? So sometimes it's countable, sometimes it's not. I can't say, wow, Sarah, your hairs look lovely today. It's weird. So we don't say that. Cake. Let's have some cake. Okay. I went to the store yesterday. I bought a cake. I bought a cake. In other words, the entire one cake, and then I cut it into pieces. And then when I'm eating it, I could say, oh, let's eat cake. Let's eat a cake means the whole cake. And I'm hoping that this is a little bit of a review for you. So the next point is paper. Okay, this is paper. This material is paper. So materials, we said before that liquids are not countable. Materials in general are not countable. Wood, paper, my desk is made of wood, right? We studied that lesson. I did that lesson last week, made of wood. This is paper. Okay, paper is a material. When paper means the material, it's not countable. But this is a report. Okay, and I can say this is a paper. This is a paper on, what is this paper on? This is a paper on how to serve your students better. That's right. Michael's a student as well as a teacher. This is a paper. In some places, you also call this a report. A report. A report. Not a report. A report. Okay? So I have a report. The report is made of paper. Okay? Sometimes countable, sometimes not. Chicken and fish. So when the words chicken and fish mean animals, they're countable. This morning I saw 2 chickens. I saw 2 chickens. And there are many fish swimming in the lake. So those are countable words. But last night I ate chicken. When the word chicken means the meat of the animal, it's not countable. So you can't say last night I ate 2 chickens. Because if you say I ate 2 chickens, it means you ate the entire animal and 2 of them. But if you had 1 drumstick and a chicken wing, you had 2 pieces of chicken. Okay? So in that case, it's not countable. You have to say 2 pieces of chicken. It's like cake. Let's have a piece of cake. Not let's have a cake. I like cake, but not that much. Okay? And then there's time. Then there's time. I have been to Istanbul 5 times. I have been to Japan many times. I haven't even been to Italy 1 time. When time means experience, it's countable, the word time. But this afternoon, I have a lot of time. I have free time. Then it's not countable. When the word time means clock time, you can say 10 minutes, you can say 2 hours, but you can't say 2 times. Because 2 times has the idea like, how many experiences have you had in Central Park? Oh, I have been to Central Park 2 times. Okay, that's the difference. So that, my friends, that's a complete study in itself. That's a totally other study, and we can probably cover that in detail because there are many nouns that fit into that category. But today, I want to talk about and the and why and how we use that. So that's the next point. Sarah says, I have no time. Oh my God, I hope you have time to study this lesson. Rupinder, hello. Thank you for joining today. All right. Any of you guys does anybody have a question about what we just talked about? Because now we're going to dive into, and the now goes, da, 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 da. Do you have the time and do you have time? Great, two great sentences. I love those examples. Let's see if I can put that into this diagram. Hang on one second, copy, paste. That's a great way to think about it. Okay, so let's look at that. Let's look at that for a minute. English superhero. And this is a good example. Thanks, Nowcrow. This is a good example of when you forget to use and the meaning is different. So, do you have the time? Do you have the time? That question means, tell me, what time is it now? Do you have the time? Please tell me the time. What is the time right now? Do you have time means, are you free? Are you available? Are you not busy? Okay. And we have a lot of words like this and a lot of special cases like this. And these are kind of like the exceptions to the rules or the special cases, especially with the. There's a whole list of rules for when we do and use and don't use the that are very, very unique, which we're not going to get to that today, but we'll do that. As a bird, it's countable. Yes, chickens are countable if they're birds. As the animal, it's countable. So Mia, you posted on Instagram the other day that you went to the salon and you had your hair cut. Right? I would say your hair looks nice. I mean, everything that's on your head, your hair looks nice. She has nice hair. I don't say she has a nice hair. So we don't use a or the to talk about what's on your head. Right? It's like rice. Right? Rice has many tiny things all together. We don't say, I ate a rice. And so, in those cases, hair and rice are not countable because it's a lot of things in one thing. But if one piece of your hair falls into the omelet, I would say, oh my God, there's a hair in my omelet. Actually, there's no omelet, but that's an example. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, Tefo, you're a troublemaker. There's always one troublemaker in the group. Okay. If you look at Tefo's comment, and I hope this is on the replay, Tefo said, can I have one water? Can I have some water? In American English, maybe British, I don't know. But I can tell you this. When we talk about drinks, and I know this is like, oh, Michael, but that's not what you said before. There are many, okay. Oh, I knew I was going to get myself in trouble today. All right. Here's a disclaimer, okay? And I should have said this at the beginning of the class, but I'm going to say it now. I'm going to teach you some grammar ideas today. These are ideas. I don't like to use rules, but because when we talk about using an, and the, there are many special cases. There are more special cases than you can imagine. And I know that gets people frustrated. I understand that. And I know that it makes it difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy, but stay with me. I'm going to get you through this. All right. Tefo says, can I have one water? When you're talking about drinks, beverages, you could say, I'd like to have a cup of coffee. Can I have a cup of coffee? A cup of coffee. So you're in a restaurant and the waiter comes and says, and you say, yes, can I have a cup of coffee, please? But it's also possible to say, can I have a coffee? Or, excuse me, can we have 2 waters? Can we have 2 waters? 2 waters is a conversational, casual way to say 2 glasses of water. Can we have 2 coffees? 2 coffees is a casual way to say 2 cups of coffee. So Tefo, thanks for asking that. That's a great question. Because you hear that all the time when you watch movies or in TV shows. Right? There's a person sitting in a diner. Yeah, let me get a coffee. Let me get a coffee. Let me get a coffee. So when we use those non-countable liquids, coffee, tea, beer, when we talk about drinks, Coca-Cola, if you like that, can I have a Coke? Can I have a Coke? Have a Coke. Have a Coke. A Coke. And you're thinking, but Michael, Coke is liquid. Right, but a Coke means a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke, a bottle of Coke, or a glass of Coke. So we say that drinks are countable. I know. It can be very confusing. Okay. I can't read your name because it's written in an alphabet that I don't know, but it says, can you run the meaning of paper by me again? Run something by me. Great phrasal verb, run that by me. Yes. Paper is a material. Okay, paper. My shirt is made of cotton. Paper, cotton, plastic. So plastic, paper, and cotton are materials. When those words are used as the meaning is material, it's not countable. I bought some paper. I bought a lot of paper. However, the word paper means report, right? And so this is a paper on how to serve your students better. This is a paper, it's a report. That's countable. It's a paper. We also use the word paper means newspaper. So I went to the store, I bought a paper. I bought a paper. It means I bought a newspaper. Okay? But that box is made of paper. Now we're talking about the material that the box is made from. And so, and you know, there's a lot of special words like that. Sometimes it's countable, sometimes it's not. I think somewhere on my website, I've got a lesson that I've done about that, a blog or a podcast, maybe. Maybe there's a YouTube video. I don't know. If you go to myhappyenglish.com, don't do it now because then you'll leave the lesson. But do that later. Go to myhappyenglish.com, hit the search button, and search for the word countable. Just type in the word countable, and I think there's a lesson where I talk about that in detail. Isa. Okay. Isa, hi, thanks. I hope that makes sense about paper, right? So when paper is a material, the word paper is used to talk about the material, then, it's they use a lot of paper in the store. But when paper means newspaper, or the word paper means report, it's countable. Gladys says, why can I say, can I have a coffee, but not can I have a water? You can say I have a water. If you're talking about drinks, and this is where, that's Tefo's question, that's where it gets confusing. So if you're in a restaurant here in New York, you can say, excuse me, can I have a water? Can I have 2 waters? Can I have 2 waters, 2 coffees, and 2 beers? That's possible. Because you're talking about drinks. But, on Saturday morning, there was a broken pipe. This is a true story. There was a broken pipe in my bathroom. And there was water everywhere. There was a lot of water on the floor in the bathroom because there was a broken pipe. A lot of water. Not many waters, right? A lot of water. Because I'm not talking about drinks, I'm just talking about water itself. So when you talk about drinks, you can do that. And you can even do that with alcoholic drinks if you do that. Last night I had a beer, a scotch, a vodka, and a martini. So that's how that goes. I know it's weird. I know. It's very, very weird. And so don't think about the rule. Hang on one second. Let me just move this screen and get a little coffee. A little coffee. Don't think about the rule. Because this is a case where if you try to think about the rule while you're talking, you're going to lose your fluency. If you're already speaking English at a certain level of fluency, you're going to understand this organically. But the best thing to do, my best advice, is just memorize the phrases, right? Think about this. When you were a baby and you were first learning your language, you spent 1 and 2 years, right? A year or 2 years just listening. And then you started repeating words and phrases. And by the time you're 3 or certainly 4 years old, you're fluent in your language, right? You didn't study grammar rules. You just memorized and repeated patterns. So just think about that, right? There's a lot of water. After there's a heavy rainstorm. Wow, there's a lot of water outside. So much water outside. But when you're in a restaurant, you can count it. That's all. Can I have 2 waters, is what you say to the server. Can I have 2 waters or 2 coffees? So think about the different phrases, right? Like, Naoko mentioned before, where was that? Do you have the time? Do you have the time? Do you have the time? What time is it now? Right? That's what that means. Do you have the time? Do you have time for a meeting tomorrow? Or you send me an email, Michael, do you have time for a lesson tomorrow? Right? So in those cases, you just memorize the sentence, not the rule behind the sentence. Just memorize the sentence and don't worry about the rule behind the sentence. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And there's, about these nouns that are countable and they're not countable. I can give you a couple more examples. So hang on one second. Information and news. Those two words. I have a buddy from Turkey. Özgür, maybe you know him. His name is Yalçın. Do you know a guy named Yalçın from Istanbul? He often says, I have two news. Because I think in Turkish, and Yalçın, you can tell me if I'm correct or not. Özgür, you can tell me if I'm correct or not. I believe that in Turkish, the word news is countable. But in English, it's not. Information is not countable. I hear a lot of people say, I heard many informations today. But that's not a countable noun. So things like that, or luggage, or baggage, right? Those are not countable. You can say suitcase, one suitcase, two suitcases. Maybe you have one suitcase and one backpack. You have a Zino. Özgür, thanks. You have a Zino. Lo Zino. That's awesome. Right? I have one backpack and one suitcase. I have luggage. So, but I should, you know what? I should have just stayed on that topic today. My gosh. Two pieces of information, right? I have two pieces of news. That's possible. So, let's go back to and the. We're not going to get to the today, I can tell. Just looking at the time. What does a pen mean? I have a pen. It's hard to see. It's clear. That's better. I have a pen. I have a pen. A pen. A pen. A pen. A pen. A pen. A means one. A means one. So, I have a pen means I have one pen. I have two pens. I have one pen. I have a pen. And what's the difference between saying I have one pen and I have a pen? Thank you for asking, Michael. That's a great question. So, I have one pen. We would say that when somebody asks, how many do you have? How many pens do you have? I have one pen. I have one red pen. Oops, I'm holding it over there. Sorry, off camera. I have one red pen. I have one pen. Okay, so because you asked me, how many pens do you have? So I'm telling you, I have a pen. So I have one pen. I have one pen. But if you're not counting, and if nobody's asking you how many, it's more common to say, I have a pen. Yesterday, I bought a book, because I'm just talking about the fact that I'm not counting, right? How many books did you buy at the store? I bought one book. If that's the conversation, you would use one. Otherwise, you would just say, I bought a book. I have a pen. I have a cup. By the way, somebody asked me the other day on YouTube, how can I get a Happy English coffee mug? And I'm sorry to say that we are out of stock. I don't have any more. So there, you can't. Sorry about that. Sorry, I only have one pen. Right. Can I borrow a pen? Oh, sorry, I only have one pen. So there are points. Hello, new. There are times when you need to be specific about the number. Otherwise, we use a. And why do we use a? There's two reasons. There are many pens. There are many pens in the world. A means one of many. There are many pens in the world. I have a pen. I have one pen among all of the pens. I have a dog. There are many dogs in the world. I have one. I have a dog. Let me try that again. There are many dogs in the world. I have a dog. I have one dog. Right? I have a dog. There are many dogs. I have a dog. Maybe you have a cat. Maybe you have a dog. I have a car. There are many cars in the world. I have one. I have a car. I have a computer. Yes, I have a phone. I have a phone. I have a phone. So there are many phones. I have one. And so, and that's what I have here. Means one of many. Okay? If you want to write something down, you need a pen. And I hope you're writing this down. A pen. There are many pens in the world. I have a pen. And so, can I borrow a pen? Can I borrow a pen? Maybe you're in a class, right? You're in a class, or you're somewhere at the bank with Rowley, and you're at the bank and you say, "Oh, excuse me, can I borrow a pen?" You don't care which one it is. It's not important which one it is. There are many pens in the world, and you need one. So you would say, can I borrow a pen? Or may I borrow a pen? Right? This morning, when I went out with the dogs, I saw a rabbit. I saw a rabbit. There are many rabbits. I saw one. I wouldn't say, this morning I saw one rabbit. It doesn't make sense for English speakers. I saw a rabbit. So means one of many. That's and also rabbit is a singular countable noun. So I can't say, according to the rule, I can't say I have rabbit. I saw rabbit. I have pen. I have car. Yesterday I bought book. Yesterday I bought book. It doesn't work in English. And because of the grammar rule, right? So you have to have something, you have to say something in front of the noun if it's a countable noun. Yesterday I bought water. Perfect. Yesterday I bought coffee. Perfect. Because coffee is an uncountable noun. But I can't say I bought pen or I bought book. That's the thing. That's the key thing, actually. So that's the first reason. And the second reason is because of pronunciation. If you're following my YouTube channel, and you know I post a lot of videos about, let me just move the screen here, sorry. I post a lot of videos about American pronunciation. And we tend, in American English, when we're speaking, we tend to say a phrase all in one breath without stopping the sound between words. I have pen. I have pen. I have a pen. I have a pen. I have a pen. The use of and the makes the language sound smoother. That's the other reason why we have and the, to make the smoothness in the speech. Yesterday I bought book. Yesterday I bought book. I bought book. That's rough sounding because yesterday I bought book. Bought book. Bought book. Bought book. There's a stop there, and we don't like when there's a stop in the middle of the phrase. We don't like when there's a stop in the middle of a sentence. In the middle of a sentence. In the middle of a sentence is not how we speak. In the middle of a sentence. So the pronunciation is very smooth. And so that's why we need the Yesterday I bought a book. I bought a book. I bought a book. It helps connect the words in your speech. Yesterday I bought book. I bought book. I bought book. It sounds like I'm marching in the army. Bought book, bought book, bought book, bought book. And so having a or the coming up or an, I ate egg, right? Think about that. What did you have for breakfast, Michael? I ate egg. I ate egg. That sounds very rough. I ate an egg. I ate an egg. I ate an egg. I ate an egg. Oh, the an egg. An egg. That makes the whole sentence smoother. It flows very nicely. I ate an egg. I ate an egg. I ate egg. I ate egg. I ate egg. So it helps with the flow of the sound. And that's the other reason that we use and the. I'm sure that that's how the language developed. And sorry, I'm not a scholar of English, so I don't know the details of how the language was formed. Okay, but that's why we need to have and the. And I'll be honest with you, in most cases, except like, do you have time? Do you have the time? Special case. But in most cases, maybe 85 or 90% of the cases, if you forget or you don't put or you use the wrong or the, we can still understand it. Yesterday, I bought book. Okay, do you have a pen? Yeah, I have pen. I have pen. I have pen. I can understand you. It doesn't sound smooth. Some people might say, it sounds a little weird. But we can still understand you. So that's why you don't have to necessarily panic about using or not using or forgetting to use and the. In most cases, we can still understand the sentence. But it's a point that's necessary for the language, for the smoothness in your pronunciation and for clarity, right? Because, again, do you have the time or do you have time? There's a difference there, right? Last week we talked about he's at the hospital, in the hospital, right? So like there's a difference there. He's at hospital, in hospital. That's weird. I know, but if you're European, and you've studied British English, you know that in British English they say he's in hospital. No the. Okay? So it depends on which English you're looking at. All right, so, question. I usually borrow a pen from Greg. That's right, Rowley. How about using the word furniture? It always can be used as an uncountable noun. You mean, not uncomfortable. Furniture is always uncountable. You can see here in my virtual office, I have a desk, I have a chair, I have a sofa, I have a coffee table, I have furniture. I have a lot of furniture. I can never, ever, furniture is never countable. You can never say, I bought 3 furnitures. Or I went to IKEA, or IKEA, or IKEA. And I bought many furnitures. We don't say furnitures. Furniture is not countable. So, hope that's helpful. Don't worry, I'm the king of typos. You know that. All right, so I think we're going to have to take a break right there because that's about our time today, and I don't want to get too too deep into the next topic. So, Gladys has a question about negative something. Sorry, I missed that. What was your question? In a negative, I have no pen or I have no pens. Okay, so in a negative sentence, do you have a pen? Sorry, I don't have a pen. I don't have a pen. That's the most common way to answer that question. Do you have a pen? Oh, sorry, I don't have a pen. I have no pen. No. I have, positive sound, no. I think we would use a phrase like I have no pens for emphasis. That's a good question. Like, do you have time tomorrow? We can have a meeting. Oh, sorry, I have no time tomorrow. But think about the construction of the sentence. I don't have time. I don't. Okay, now it's clear it's a negative. I don't have time. Very clear. I have no time. So that's not clear, but I think we do that sentence. I have no time or I have no pens. You'd have to say I have no pens. You can't say I have no pen. A single countable noun never travels alone. All right. Sorry, I think that's all the time we're going to. I don't want to get too in depth. We'll continue this next week for sure. So if you want this document, go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. Enter your email address and your your name, not a password, and then you can download this for free. Okay, and then every time we have a live lesson on YouTube or a live lesson on Clubhouse, you can get this. You can get the downloads at the same place. Okay. Anna, hey, thanks. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. -13C from Canada. Ouch. All right, go to work. Work hard. Don't work too hard. So that's that. And yes, myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. You can get this download. We will continue this discussion next week at this very same time. Hey, if you like this lesson, please share it on social media. Tell your friends on social media. Say, hey, hit the share button there below. Hit the like button. Hit the thumb button like that. Subscribe. Tell your friends. I appreciate that. If you like my lessons, tell your friends. If you don't like my lessons, tell people you don't like. All right, so We will continue this same lesson and continue this conversation about the, and nouns next week. Tomorrow, it's time for The Diary of a Wimpy Kid on Clubhouse. So go to your favorite store that has apps, and can I see it? You can't see it? It doesn't work. Okay. Clubhouse. It's this one that you can't see. And that's going to be tomorrow at this same time on Clubhouse. We'll talk about The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is a great book to learn and practice English. Thanks for studying today. Don't forget, go to myhappyenglish.com. Download this document over here that we've studied with. Okay, you can get that for free. And that's it. Thanks for all of your comments and your great questions. If you have a question which we didn't get to today, either hold your question for next week or send me an email. You can go to my website, hit the contact button, and you can send me an email, and I will bring up your question next time. Thank you so much for studying today. I really appreciate that. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Again, thank you. You guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. Stay warm if you're in a cold place. What time tomorrow, Gladys? Same time as this, 7:30 New York time on Clubhouse, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Get the book, get the study guide. Let's study. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.